What's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekly Weird News.
Imagine my absolute joy and wonderment when earlier this week I awoke and opened up Twitter to find that several hundred of you people have shared with us the news that the legacy of the tragically murdered gorilla Harambe would be living on in the form of a newborn gorilla at a Chinese zoo who had been officially named Harambe McHarambe Face thanks to an online poll. Just imagine that. Imagine the enthusiasm. Harambe and blank McBlank Face, they had a meme baby in the form of a baby gorilla named Harambe McHarambe Face.
It was Bodie McBoatface had sex with Harambe.
Yeah, it was blank McBlank. You can add whatever you want.
Yeah.
If I don't look just absolutely delighted by this, it's probably just because my face is tired from all the laughing and smiling I've been doing over this ever since I heard the good news.
Now, wait a second there, Elliot. Something about this is a little fishy. Are you sure that this news story is legitimate?
Of course it is, Ricky. The original story came from the Boston Leader, which has been bringing you Boston's best news since 1932. You don't last that long in the news business unless you're a trustworthy source.
All right, well, I've never actually heard of the Boston Leader before. Are you sure this isn't just one of those fake news websites that tries to be like The Onion but fails to understand that satire isn't just lying and actually involves humor? You know, sites that I'm talking about, like The Daily Current, World News Daily Report, Hustlers, Empire News, Stupid, News Examiner, Now 8 News, Empire Herald, and so on, including that new Twitter one where it's Sky News. They just post about PewDiePie all the time. You sure?
No. Ricky, if you take the time to actually browse the Boston Leader, which has been bringing you Boston's best news since 1932, you'll see that its stories are not satire. They report on various real-life news topics, such as the war in Syria, the Dakota Access Pipeline, and the Denver Broncos' narrow victory over the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, sure, but why are all their news stories from September 13th and 14th? They have no archive going back before that, and why do the articles have no names of any writers listed? And, okay, hold on, wait, why does each article have a paywall after the first couple paragraphs? Why is it a subscription page? It tells you to pay $9.99 per month to read the full articles, but then it says that they're experiencing processing issues for new subscriptions due to high volume of applications. I mean, they're probably doing great, I understand, but also, why is there no Wikipedia article for the Boston Leader if it's been bringing you Boston's best news for 84 years? I mean, this is a long-standing newspaper that has roots in the community, Elliot. Don't you dare!
Ricky,
don't you dare!
You may not trust the Boston Leader, but various other highly trustworthy news outlets such as the Daily Mail and the Mirror do trust them and have been citing them as a primary source in their own coverage of Harambe McHarambe Face for days.
I don't know though. Let's go to Snopes. They're pretty unbiased. See, look, according to Snopes, the internet's oldest and best source of debunking hoaxes, the story is false and the BostonLeader.com was created less than a week ago. There you go. There's plenty of actual weird news in the world this week that we need to cover. The Harambe McHarambe Face story, it's dead. Bury it. There you go. False. Fake. Even the BBC came out and said that it was fake and dumb.
You're just a bunch of shills. Anyway, you're right. There's plenty of weird news this week that isn't a flat-out lie, including some pretty fucking weird animal news out of the world of horse racing, where according to Dallas News, a real news outlet, 5 racehorses recently tested positive for meth and must forfeit their winnings from races earlier this year. Take away his apples. So I guess after all the recent scandals with performance-enhancing drugs among Olympic athletes, it's really not that surprising that even horses are going for whatever extra edge they can get over the competition.
Now I'm wondering if all those pig races I saw as a kid at the county fair were rigged too.
Oh yeah, they got a big nose. You know what?
Just doing cocaine. Yeah. All their tails go straight. Boing! Anyways, let's be clear. Horses aren't galloping down to the corner late at night to score some crystal meth so they can take it back to the stable and put it in their horse pipes. They're horses. They don't know what the hell's going on, except that they get yelled at less when they don't run so slow. Also, they don't die and get turned into glue. Also, I feel like meth is probably not the most effective performance-enhancing racehorse drug, especially at the levels found in the horse's urine, which were just trace amounts that probably didn't affect their performance at all. And according to the Texas Racing Commission, they were actually just the result of human contamination and not intentional administration. They were just smoking it around them?
So yeah, along with the 5 horses who were disqualified through no fault of their own.
Wow.
The commission also suspended 7 handlers, known as grooms in this profession,
gross,
for testing positive for meth. Which would mean that back in the stables, the grooms are just doing meth while on the job all the damn time. Enough that the horses are breathing it in and having it show up on urine tests. And it's not just the grooms at Lone Star Park in Texas. Apparently the entire horse racing industry has a pretty serious backstage methamphetamines problem.
I mean, that doesn't seem that shocking to me. Anyways, this is just like these fucking horses getting disqualified is just like Ryan Lochte's teammates.
Yeah.
They're just ancillary characters in this drama that's unfolding.
Yeah.
Harmless.
Yeah.
Harmless. Anyways, back in August, a horse and two groomers at San Francisco's Golden Gate Fields racetrack tested positive for meth and were disqualified. In early 2015, 3 horses in Australia tested positive for meth, and their trainer was banned from racing for 4 years. And in November 2014 at Churchill Downs, a horse tested positive for meth and its trainer was suspended for a year over it. In all these cases, the amount of meth found in the horse's urine was so little that it wouldn't have affected performance at all. But there's no denying that, for whatever reason, smoking meth is a beloved pastime in the horse racing profession, which is really weird.
Yeah. I mean, I've always heard, like, Always Sunny in Philadelphia did an episode at the racetrack where the jockeys, everyone was just a little weird. They were all into, like, drugs and, like, weird sex shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was just, oh, they're whatever.
Because they're little people, Elliot? Is that why? The drugs hit them harder?
I didn't say it.
Mm-hmm. You implied it.
One for me, one for horse.
I always thought that they just put giant paper clips on their dicks because then they couldn't pee, and so they ran faster because they had to go pee.
They probably do. Horse racing, I mean, I'll admit.
It's fun.
I love a nice day at the track. It's
great.
fun to throw money at horses, but like, the more you actually learn about how the whole sport works, you feel kind of bad for these horses.
And why wouldn't you? You know what's big in Florida? Greyhound racing.
See, that's okay.
No, it's not. The places
not?
they're even shittier. The buildings are even shittier. The poor dogs, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They're greyhounds. They're emaciated just naturally.
Yeah, well, and then there's a whole big adoption thing in Florida for greyhounds.
Oh, like Santa's little helper?
Yeah, they fucking put them down if they're done racing.
Oh, that's not cool.
What do you think they do with the horses? Let them out into a fucking field with all the hay they can eat?
Yeah, right?
No, they turn them into glue.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
There's a giant fucking thing that takes them straight from the track to the glue factory.
They stick a horse in like a syringe and then glue comes out? Just a giant
pretty much.
horse-sized
It's a giant syringe and it has a bunch of horses and then it squeezes through.
Is that where glue comes from?
I think so.
Wow.
That damn Elmer.
Wow.
Anyways, let's switch gears and check in on a guy who just can't seem to stay out of trouble. And I know you guys have been waiting for this one. As a result of him not being able to stay out of trouble, it's become probably one of the only recurring characters on this show, but he's a real person. We're talking about Malachi Love Robinson, aka Dr. Love. So, quick recap. Dr. Love first came to our attention in the early days of this show in January of 2015, and that was just when he was 17, and he was found to have been wandering around a hospital in West Palm Beach, Florida, posing as a doctor with a white coat and stethoscope for an entire month, which is terrifying. At the same time, though, he was still a minor, and the whole thing kind of just seemed like he was just a kid whose medical ambitions had gone a little too far.
He's got moxie. I'll give him that.
One too many episodes of Doogie Howser.
Yeah. You know what, kid? You can be a doctor.
Yeah.
You got the moxie. Well, it turned out that was just practice. Dr. Love next moved on to somehow finding work as a massage therapist at a medical rehab center despite not having any training or certification to do so, which is also terrifying. This led to him being caught yet again and receiving a cease and desist notice from the Florida Department of Health. So he complied with that and he stopped doing that. Moving on to starting his own full-on fake medical practice, New Birth, New Life Medical Center and Urgent Care, complete with a convincing website and Facebook page and a suite in a building full of actual trusted medical practices. There, he saw an unknown number of patients, many of whom were elderly, and gave them bogus consultations and prescriptions for vitamins, charging thousands of dollars for it.
He's got moxie. Now, obviously, this often involved doing house calls, and at one house call, his 86-year-old patient's stomach pains became so intense that she called for an ambulance, and when it arrived, Dr. Love recommended that she leave her purse and keys behind so he could lock up the house for her, the nice guy that he is.
Thank you, doctor.
Then he went into her purse and forged a bunch of checks totaling $2,800, emptying the poor old woman's bank account, and according to charges that came out later, he used the woman's bank account information to siphon $35,000 towards paying for his own car and credit card payments.
Dr. Love.
He's starting to have less and less moxie.
Meanwhile, the local news somehow became aware that the fake doctor that they reported on a year earlier was now practicing medicine again, and they sent reporters out to his office to confront him about it, and he actually gave them a tour of his office and doubled down on his story on camera. The law finally got involved after what seems like way too long, and they conducted a sting operation where they sent in an undercover cop for a medical consultation and then arrested Dr. Love after he explicitly gave medical advice to the patient, that's where the law draws the line between dress up and breaking the law.
That's why when they do the prostitution sting, it's only when they exchange the money or agree upon an amount.
That's right. You can say I'm a prostitute all day.
Yeah.
But until you
If you're giving it away, no crime is committed.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was charged with practicing medicine without a license and grand theft, and instead of laying low, the first thing he did after bailing out of jail was agree to do an interview with Good Morning America, where he asserted that he'd done absolutely nothing wrong, eventually walking out on the interview when the questions became too accusatory. Back in April, we reported that Malachi Love Robinson had been offered a plea deal by the prosecution that would see him face 3 years in prison, instead of the up to 70 years that he could face for the charges. But he rejected the plea offer and decided to go to trial for some reason. So that trial is still ongoing, but that hasn't stopped Dr. Love from getting into even more trouble, which brings us to this past week.
So Dr. Love was arrested again last Friday at a car dealership in Virginia on charges of identity theft and fraud. He was apparently trying to purchase a Lexus at the dealership and was accompanied by a 73-year-old woman who he said would be co-signing on the car's loan, despite the fact that he also told the dealership that he makes $140,000 a year as a doctor. The address listed for his medical practice on his fake pay stub, however, was actually the address of a Walmart.
Oh, smart, I think. I don't know. So this and the fact that he referred to the obvious frail and disoriented old woman at various points of the process as his mother, then as his godmother, that kind of raised a few red flags with the dealership, who decided to just Google Malachi Love Robinson's name and learned all about all of his other shady dealings. Then they told him they'd call him in a few hours when his credit application went through and notified police, who waited for Dr. Love when he was called back and told his credit was approved. He was arrested, and when police spoke to the old woman, she said that she had not agreed to co-sign on anything. They also found that Dr. Love had used her signature on loan applications in the previous days and had used the woman's credit card the day earlier to buy 2 iPads and a phone for $1,200, which you could imagine at this point she probably had no recollection of.
It's terrible. Little old ladies.
Yeah.
So,
I saw him on the TV looking box, and I don't care what Matt Lauer says.
I don't know. He's got a white coat and a stethoscope.
I
Looks
like his
a doctor to
boxing.
me. They don't just sell stethoscopes to anyone who wants one.
Yeah.
So on top of the grand theft and practicing medicine without a license charges that Love Robinson was already facing, he's now charged with identity fraud, false statements to obtain credit, and obtaining money by false pretenses. He's being held in jail in Virginia now, and at this point he will almost definitely face a pretty long prison sentence once the courts are done sorting out all the crimes that he keeps committing.
I don't know. I want him back out there. He needs to do more funny crimes.
So,
none of these are funny, but
no.
The fact that he keeps popping up in such a public way.
He's got moxie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when we first became aware of this guy, we and a lot of other people were comparing him to Frank Abagnale Jr., the character Leo DiCaprio played in Catch Me If You Can, who successfully impersonated doctors, lawyers, and airline pilots for years before being caught at age 21.
No, he was based off a real guy. That
No,
actually
that's what I
did that.
said.
Okay, good. Yes.
So
He's not just a character.
Yeah, Abagnale's cons were actually cunning and effective, though. Malachi Love Robinson is just an overconfident moron who would probably just as easily make for a great fraud victim if the tables were turned. Mm-hmm. That said, though, this is probably going to be a movie someday, and we cannot wait.
Oh, it's going to be like the like how Scary Movie was to Scream. It's going to be the Malachi Love Robinson one is going to be that version of Catch Me If You Can.
Dr. Love, starring
Catch Me.
Jaden Smith.
Catch Me. Okay, we did.
Catch Me.
Just called Catch Me. Caught me.
Yeah.
Caught me because they could.
Caught me because they could.
There we go. Now we got to redo the cover of that. Caught me because they could with Malachi Love Robinson. Before we get into the second half of our show, where we look at the weirdest headlines of the week, let's give a quick shout out to this week's sponsor. We love them. You know we love them. It's time for you to love them. It's Blue Apron. We are actual paying customers of fucking Blue Apron.
I ate it last night.
Great. We both had our sloppy joes last night.
They were very sloppy. Extra sloppy for you.
We made them extra sloppy and with a lot of garlic because you're free to choose how much garlic you want to put in everything.
I put a lot of garlic in.
Whether you're like us and you just never learned how to cook, or you're too busy to plan recipes and shop for ingredients for tasty, high-quality meals, Blue Apron is a great service, and it'll have you cooking like a boss in no time.
Each week you get a box shipped to you with all the ingredients you need for 3 great meals made from the best ingredients possible. They are very high quality. The ingredients aren't just high quality though. They come from local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the U.S. who use sustainable, humane practices. You're not getting it from Meat Mart. Big old Texas
You're not getting
meat man.
it from the horse track
No.
or the Greyhound track. It's coming straight from farms.
Yeah. By getting only the exact amount of ingredients you need to cook the meals, you're helping the earth too by not wasting food.
And by the way, to add, you can recycle everything they send you.
Yeah.
If you put it back
Put
in
it
the
all
box,
back in the box,
they'll
ship it
give you a
back to them.
self-addressed thing.
Yeah.
Boop, go back. Anyways, each meal comes out to less than $10, and these meals are great. Some of the meals featured this month include paprika spiced shrimp and cheddar grits, and that was amazing.
That was a good one.
Spicy hoisin chicken stir fry with baby bok choy.
This was my favorite fucking meal I had with Blue Apron.
And summer udon noodle salad with cherry tomatoes, corn, and summer sweet pepper. Over the course of a year, every single recipe you get is unique, so you're always cooking and eating something new.
So for you, our viewers, they are offering your first 3 meals absolutely free, including shipping, if you go to blueapron.com/weekly. You're gonna love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so do not wait. Again, that's blueapron.com/weekly. Blue Apron is a better way to cook. Now let's move on to the weirdest headlines that we found on the internet this week.
Woo!
Starting with, woman marries daughter after the two hit it off.
Gross. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, this woman also married her son a couple
you
years
go.
back, but they got it annulled.
Mental issues.
Yeah, she apparently, this woman's a mess. She had to give up her kids. They were taken away from her by the state
Good.
when she was young, and then she reunited with them later, and you know what?
Fell in love.
You know, we got a lot in common. Let's see where this goes.
And it went too far.
She was like, well, we don't have the same last name. I don't see why this is illegal.
No, they have the same
You're
DNA.
blood relatives.
Yeah. Ugh.
Gross.
Ugh. They didn't have kids, did they? I guess they.
Two women can't have kids.
But she did marry her son as well, though. Did they have kids?
I hope not.
Yeah, me too.
Hope they use protection.
Gross.
Or I don't know. Maybe the kid would come out like a fucking king. All the best kings were inbred.
That's true.
Yeah.
Remember that story on Reddit where the guy, like the kid, like broke his arms? He
Yeah.
he got all sexually frustrated, so he had his mom jerk him off all the time to get rid of the stress, and then like that kind of turned into a relationship. I mean, it's really weird, but like it happens apparently, and too often. 2 times that I've read about are 2 times too many. So stop fucking your moms, kids. Why would we ever have to say that? That should be a shirt. Stop fucking your mom. It's bad. Bad. Anyways, self-driving cars can learn a lot by playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, did you know? This actually makes a lot of sense. So they use the same like machine learning algorithm that they would use in an actual car to like basically look at the screen in a game of Grand Theft Auto to identify. Basically, it can tell just by looking at it like, oh, this is the road, this is the sidewalk, this is a building, this is a person.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, and it's a lot safer than sending out these death machines into the road.
Yeah, but then the car's gonna see how fun it is to knock people 30 feet into the air.
That's the risk. The car's
Yeah.
gonna be like, wait a
this is a
second.
lot of fun.
I don't have to follow any of these rules.
Why don't they just put it in like Gran Turismo or something instead? Like an
'cause
actual car sim.
Well, then it'll go really fast. It'll be like...
It doesn't have to
The
go
car
fast.
will be like, I keep getting punished for not driving fast like the other cars. So I'm gonna drive the fastest.
Well, it's all bad. I did watch a recent Verge video where the guy was in the Ubers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see it, you're like, wow, this is pretty incredible.
I don't trust him.
I know you don't, but I'm gonna be zooming around in my self-driving car soon.
Police eject men snapping selfies with blow-up doll at the 9/11 memorial.
What?
There's
Why?
a bunch of fucking Brits came over to New York for their bachelor party or their stag weekend or whatever they call it over there.
Sexual tourism is really big for British men.
Yeah.
They come
Well,
over
they
here
didn't
and
go to
have sex.
Thailand. They came to New
No,
York.
they come and have sex with American girls because they love the accent.
Oh, yeah, American girls are suckers for that shit. Stop falling for British men. They'll just,
Yeah, there's plenty of us great
they'll
Americans
just
here.
bang you and leave you, and
Yeah.
they probably have a blow-up doll. But yeah, these guys, you know, they go on trips. They're all like, oh, just all drunk the whole fucking weekend, celebrating their bachelor party and getting everyone else involved. They went to the 9/11 memorial, like they're taking snap selfies with these fucking blow-up dolls, and everyone's like, "It is September 10th, sir. A little too close. Maybe do the blow-up doll in like March."
So then they dragged the blow-up doll away and put it into a van and drove off?
Yeah, and they told it to stop resisting, and then somehow the ride of the blow-up doll to the police station, it hit its head on a nail in the back of the truck and got deflated.
Yeah.
But they say they did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Wow, we hit like every national problem in that one sentence.
Yeah.
New Jersey man gets arrested 5 minutes after being released from police headquarters. Was it Malachi Love Robinson?
No.
Is he up in New Jersey now?
No.
Oh, damn it.
It was on the same level of like cunning as Malachi Love
Yeah.
Robinson. This guy was arrested for putting a brick through a car window and stealing stuff inside the car. So, you know, they brought him in, whatever, did a couple days in jail. He's got a court date or whatever. So they let him go. The detectives who had been talking to him, they're like, let's just watch him walk down the road. Let's just look out the window and watch. And they saw him walk about a block, break a car window, and steal some shit. And they arrested him.
Hey, it was double jeopardy. You can't charge me for
Wait a
the crime.
second, you gotta tell me you're a cop. You can't get arrested within 200 feet of a police
I
station.
thought this was America. Anyways, moving on.
4 Paralympians ran the 1,500 meter faster than the gold medalists at the Rio Olympics. And
Okay.
it's not the ones with the crazy knife legs. These were just
The murderous knife
these
leg
guys are
Olympians.
just slightly blind. They were in the blind category, but
Oh,
not
okay.
even the super blind category. Like they're probably
Were
watching
they
this show
crisscrossing
right
lanes and shit though?
now. They probably gave them like wide lanes. I don't know.
They widened the lanes.
Maybe they were running with a stick.
You're
but yeah.
terrible to blind people. You're the worst to blind people.
Yeah, come find me. They
They can do it with echolocation, I believe.
But yeah, so they ran using the same they didn't have any robot legs like that murderer that killed his girlfriend. They didn't have his like cyber legs. They just had normal human legs. Mm-hmm. And they ran faster than the Olympians. So
Well, they're technically they are Olympians.
being blind doesn't just make you into a superhero with supersonic hearing who can like know where the criminals are. It also makes you run faster. Proof.
Great. Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals called to toy crocodile rescue in Winsford. Why?
Some fucking toy crocodile was sitting like in the gutter. Someone called it. They're like, "There's an alligator here in Cheshire where there are no reptiles."
Yeah, that would be impossible.
So like, yeah, this is the RSPCA or whatever showed up and they're like trying to rescue this lizard and they get up close. They're like, "No, it's a toy." Thanks, guys.
They're out there making everyone safe. That's
Yeah.
what matters. Man jailed after using Walmart air mattress to paddle across Canadian border.
Yeah, and he's going into Canada.
Yeah.
Not the other way. They should build a wall.
They need to build a wall.
Yeah. Apparently he had.
It's great to know that an air mattress can sustain that.
Yeah, Walmart. That's
It's a great ad for
hail
Walmart.
corporate.
Yeah, great ad for Walmart.
His girlfriend lives in Canada and they wouldn't let him across the border because he has some priors. And Canada actually, they don't let you in. If you have anything on your record, they don't want you.
Well, the other thing about the Walmart mattress is you let a little bit of the air out, and down on the border to Mexico, you put one person on one side of it, then you jump on the other, and it shoots them over the wall.
Yeah.
They're great for both border crossings.
The wall just got 10 feet taller.
But Walmart, they're gonna come out with a new mattress that'll shoot you 10 feet higher.
Yeah.
That's all. That's how real
We
business
all
works.
know what everyone's using these mattresses for, and it ain't sleeping. It's border crossing.
Yeah, the border crosser.
South Carolina toddler found in street after taking late night joyride in toy car.
Was it just one of those little Power Wheels or something?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Did you ever know any like kids that had those?
The souped up ones?
The ones that actually moved with electricity?
Oh yeah. No, I had one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
My parents only let me have the ones that you had to pedal.
Oh yeah.
They drew
Exercise.
They drew the line at electric cars.
My cousin, for his kids, he bought him Power Wheels and then he put like a car battery on it.
Oh God.
So it could do burnouts and stuff. So it's like drifting. It's stupid. And probably dangerous.
Yeah.
They live in
Because
Florida.
those things, they don't have a roll bar.
They live in Florida. It's typical. Australian boy wins best dress prize for Hitler costume. What?
Yeah, it was like Book Week, which I don't know what that is, but it's they all dress up and stuff as
Their favorite fictional character?
yeah. Well, no, like authors, I guess. But the only book Hitler ever wrote was Mein Kampf, I think.
And this kid loved it?
I don't know. Like the whole thing is it raised a lot of questions, and because it's Australia, they have like child protection laws for the media, so they don't provide a lot of information here. But the kid apparently asked for permission to dress up as Hitler for like the Book Week costume contest, and the teacher said yes. The kid did it. The kid's costume was so good that he won a prize. And also, at the same time this is happening, they had a school from across town that's like a Jewish elementary school visiting as some sort of a cross-town integration thing. So this kid won a prize for dressing up as Hitler in front of a crowd of Jews.
Yeah.
But they were apparently cool with it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like anyone's that mad.
That's fine then.
I mean, I don't blame the kid.
Yeah.
Fucking, those Nazi uniforms look so cool.
They're very sharp. It was a Hugo Boss,
You
right?
go find my like notebooks from like second grade. It's just swastikas everywhere. It's
Yeah.
a cool symbol.
I love the way it looks. It's left and right and
up and
down. Oh, it's beautiful.
Selling a $5 million 7-story basket is no picnic.
Yeah.
Ba-dum! It's
It's one of those things that looks like another thing, right?
yeah,
The
it's
building that looks like a basket.
Yeah, but it's a Wicker Basket company, so it's actually great.
Who's making money off Wicker Baskets?
Well, they're not. That's why they're trying to sell the building.
Yeah, they can't even
afford it
sell their
anymore.
fucking building-sized Wicker
Yeah.
Basket.
No
Just
one
take the
wants it.
handles off and repaint it.
That's what I'm looking at it. I'm like, it looks ridiculous, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Just take the handles
Give it a
off.
different paint job. Take the fucking handles off,
Yeah.
and it just kind of looks like a weird modern building.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
really want
they're
to.
selling it for cents on the dollar. So
Yeah.
if you want a building that kind of looks like a wicker basket,
It doesn't kind of look like it. It looks like it.
Yeah, if you want a wicker basket building that you could easily retrofit to look like a normal building, and also own a business in Ohio that hires about 1,000 people, look into it. It's a great deal.
Mike Pence. He'll give you a discount on it too. Tax exemption. I drink at a place that's shaped like a barrel. It's fun.
Where?
Idle Hour.
Oh yeah.
It's a barrel building. Australian woman paid $370 for goldfish surgery on her pet.
Yeah, pet
That's
goldfish
stupid.
got one of those little fish tank pebbles lodged in his throat, and she's like, took it to the vet, and they're like, well, I mean, it's gonna cost you, lady, about $370.
Just flush it.
She was really in love with this fucking goldfish. I don't know how. How do you develop a bond between yourself and a goldfish? I don't know. But they got the pebble out. The fish is fine. Probably die of something else next week.
Oh yeah, real quick.
They're not smart animals.
No.
Anyway, our final headline for this week: Kim Jong-un's efforts to attract tourists to North Korea hit by terrible TripAdvisor reviews.
Oh, you mean Life with Louie didn't, whatever it is, Fun with Louie
Life with Louie?
Didn't work out?
Guess not.
They got water parks!
The reviews are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They're like, apparently the power goes out every like 10 minutes. The toilets water just runs down the walls, and they posted pictures of the room service food, and it looks gross.
The whole place seems like a Hollywood backlot.
Yeah.
Where things like that we have plumbing.
Sort of like the Olympic Village.
Yeah.
If the Olympic Village in Rio was a country,
Yeah.
it would be North Korea.
Yes. Except they
But hey, they're just as bad as us. Why don't you look at your own country before you start pointing the finger at another country? Red flag!
That's you in the comments.
Yeah.
But it would have been funny though if Ryan Lochte got arrested there, because he would spend like the next 25 years just hitting a rock with a sledgehammer until it was really tiny.
Like that kid who got
First trying to steal a poster.
yeah, he took a poster last year.
He should have known better. What about the police killing people?
Shut the fuck up. Do some fucking research into North Korea.
Yeah.
And stop.
Also,
it's a
it's-
false equivalence, and it fucking
Yeah.
annoys me when you guys do it.
You can make fun of other things while anything else is happening.
Yeah.
It can't be a connection there. It's like when people are like, how can you have fun when this is happening?
How do we know the media isn't just lying to us and that North Korea isn't actually as bad as it really is?
Mimsy!
All right, well, that's our show. Check out our other fun educational content, like our most recent episode of Tech Tuesday, where we talk about Samsung's little exploding phone problem. And then our other video where Hillary Clinton...
She got duped.
She got duped by some...
She got memed, my friend.
She was very well memed, my friend.
Yeah.
And Pepe the Frog may or may not be...
May May?
May or
May
may not be a white supremacist. And then on our podcast, we had our friend Steven Suptic, MLG Haunt.
Yeah, talking about his new career at NASA.
Yeah, and read some sexy fan fiction that made me very uncomfortable.